Most of us think the natural world is harmless by default. We buy plants because they look beautiful. We walk through parks without a second thought, and we assume anything green and leafy must be good for the air, good for the eyes, and good for our peace of mind. But the truth is, nature has a darker side. A side that doesn't always reveal itself until it's too late. Some of the most attractive plants, the ones with bright flowers, soft leaves, or familiar shapes, carry toxins powerful enough to paralyze, shut down organs, or in some cases, take a life in minutes. And the most surprising part? Many of these plants are common. Some grow in the wild, some in home gardens, and some right by our front doors without us noticing their true nature. Today, on Daily Plant Life, we're stepping into a part of the plant world most people never think about. Not to scare you, not to make you afraid of nature, but to make you aware. Because the more you understand the plants around you, the safer and more confident you become. Before we dive in, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an episode on the fascinating and sometimes unexpected world of plants. Now let's begin. It's easy to imagine danger as something loud, dramatic, or obvious, like the roar of a wild animal or the sting of a venomous insect. But deadly plants don't behave like that. They're quiet, still beautiful. They don't chase you. They don't warn you. They simply exist. And sometimes, that's enough. Some release toxins through their sap. Some hide poison in their seeds. Some can cause severe reactions through the slightest touch, and some sit quietly in gardens where children play, or grow on hiking trails where people rest their hands without thinking twice. So today, we'll explore a blend of deadly plants you might encounter in the wild, along with a few that people unknowingly grow at home. We'll learn what makes them dangerous, how to recognize them, and why they've earned their place on the list of the most toxic plants on Earth. 1. Oleander. If you've ever seen oleander, you understand why it appears so often in gardens, parks, and walkways. It's stunning, tall, full, and decorated with clusters of pink, red, white, or yellow flowers that look almost too perfect to be real. It's hardy, it thrives in heat, and it stays beautiful even with minimal care, but beneath that beauty lies one of the most toxic plants in the world. Every single part of oleander, from the leaves to the flowers to the stems, contains a group of toxins known as cardiac glycosides. These compounds affect the heart directly, disrupting the rhythm and interfering with electrical signals that keep your heartbeat stable. You don't need to eat a lot of oleander for it to become dangerous. In fact, in severe cases, a single leaf can be enough to cause life-threatening symptoms. That's how potent it is. Now, you might wonder, if it's so deadly, why is it planted everywhere? The answer is simple. It's tough, drought-resistant, and visually appealing. Landscapers love it. Home gardeners love that it looks expensive without needing much attention. But most people who plant it have no idea how dangerous it can be, especially for children and pets who might get curious. The trouble with oleander isn't just ingestion. Even the sap can cause skin irritation. And burning the plant releases toxic smoke that irritates the lungs and eyes. Yet despite all these dangers, millions of oleander bushes grow around the world, almost like silent sentinels, admired for their beauty while hiding a powerful threat inside. For small space gardeners, especially those who grow plants on balconies or in containers, oleander is the kind of plant you must fully understand before bringing it into your environment. It's not that you can't grow it. It's that you must treat it with respect and caution. This is the kind of plant that reminds us, nature doesn't always reveal its intentions with appearances. Oleander may be one of the most deceptive plants because of how common it is. But the next plant on our journey is something entirely different. It doesn't hide in plain sight. It doesn't pretend to be gentle. Its very presence gives off a kind of warning, a feeling that you should admire it from a distance. 2. Water hemlock. If oleander is the silent beauty that fools people with charm, water hemlock is the one that doesn't try to fool you. It simply hides by blending into the background so well that you never think twice about it. It's not flashy. It's not dramatic. It's not the kind of plant that grabs your attention with bright colors or exotic shapes. It looks ordinary. Almost comforting in its familiarity, tall, green stems topped with clusters of tiny white flowers, the kind you'd expect to see growing peacefully near streams, ponds, or low-lying fields. But what makes water hemlock truly terrifying is that it uses that ordinariness as its camouflage. Because beneath those delicate umbrella-shaped flowers lies one of the most lethal natural toxins in North America. Cyclotoxin, a compound that launches a violent attack on the central nervous system within minutes. Just a small amount of the root, which unfortunately resembles a parsnip, is enough to cause sudden seizures, convulsions, muscle breakdown, and respiratory failure. Unlike some poisonous plants, water hemlock doesn't give you much warning. There's no bitter taste, no burning sensation, nothing to tell you that you're consuming something deadly. It simply acts fast, brutally fast. You can see why this plant earned the title, the most violently toxic plant in North America. For gardeners, especially those working with small spaces or near natural water sources, water hemlock is the kind of plant you must be able to identify. If water hemlock hides behind the mask of normalcy, the next plant does the exact opposite. It shows off, it wants to be admired, it stands tall, dramatic, and almost ornamental, while containing a toxin so powerful it's been tied to some of the most infamous poisonings in history. 3. Castor bean. Now, if water hemlock hides, castor bean does the exact opposite. It demands attention. Its broad, glossy leaves fan out like an exotic tropical umbrella, and the spiky red seeds glint like jewelry in the sun. People often plant it intentionally, drawn to its dramatic beauty and architectural presence in gardens or patios. But here's the catch: beauty doesn't equal safety. Inside those striking seeds lies ricin, one of the most potent naturally occurring toxins on the planet. Just a handful of crushed seeds can cause vomiting, seizures, liver damage, and even death. It's a toxin that works silently, invisibly, and with frightening efficiency. And yet, it's so easy to misjudge. Kids see something colorful and fascinating. Pets sniff around out of curiosity, and an unsuspecting gardener might trim the plant without realizing the danger that's hiding within. Castor bean is a lesson in respect. It shows us that appearances can be deceiving, that sometimes the very thing that draws our attention most is also the most dangerous. Handling it safely isn't complicated, but it requires knowledge, gloves, careful pruning, keeping seeds away from children and pets, and respecting its potency. Think of it as a plant that commands attention not because it's friendly or forgiving, but because it deserves it. Castor bean makes you cautious because of its showy warning. Angel's trumpet will make you pause for a different reason. It's stunning, fragrant, and seductive, the kind of plant that draws you closer at night with its intoxicating scent, tempting you to linger a little too long, to inhale just a little too deeply. But behind that beauty is a danger that is subtle, insidious, and mind-altering. 4. Angel's trumpet. Angel's trumpet is a vision. Giant, pendulous flowers hang down like delicate bells, spilling a perfume that fills the evening air. It's the kind of plant that would be at home in a fairy tale garden, and gardeners often grow it for its hypnotic fragrance and dramatic form. But here's the hidden truth. Every part of this plant is poisonous, containing potent tropane alkaloids. Ingestion, even a small nibble, can cause hallucinations, confusion, paralysis, and in extreme cases, death. Unlike the other plants we've discussed, the danger here isn't immediate. It sneaks in slowly, altering perception and judgment, luring someone with beauty and scent until they're too far gone to recognize the threat. For a home gardener, Angel's trumpet is a plant you admire from a distance. Enjoy its beauty and fragrance, but don't let curiosity or carelessness turn admiration into tragedy. It's a reminder that danger isn't always loud. Sometimes, it whispers through scent and beauty, masking its intent until it's almost too late. 5. White snake root. Angel's trumpet seduces. White snake root is the one that betrays. Unlike the dramatic flair of the previous plants, this one is small, subtle, almost shy. Its clusters of tiny white flowers look harmless, even delicate, hiding quietly along the edges of forests, fields, and roadsides. And that's exactly what makes it dangerous. White snake root contains trematol, a toxin that can pass through milk, which historically caused milk sickness in settlers and pioneers. People consumed milk from cows that grazed on the plant, completely unaware of the hidden danger, and suffered from nausea, vomiting, tremors, and in severe cases, death. It's a plant that reminds us that danger isn't always immediate or obvious. Sometimes it's slow, cumulative, and invisible until it has already caused harm. For gardeners or anyone exploring natural landscapes, white snake root is a silent lesson. Even the small, unassuming plants can carry life-altering risks. We move to something more visually striking, the kind of plant that makes you stop and admire, not suspecting that admiration itself could be dangerous. 6. Deadly nightshade. Deadly nightshade has a name that doesn't mince words. It's notorious, infamous, legendary even. Its glossy leaves, bell-shaped purple flowers, and shiny black berries look enchanting, almost magical, the kind of plant you'd imagine in a witch's garden, and yet, every part of this plant is toxic. Atropine, hyoscyamine, and scopolamine, powerful alkaloids, lurk in its leaves and berries. Ingesting even a small amount can cause dilated pupils, hallucinations, confusion, rapid heart rate, and, in severe cases, death. What makes deadly nightshade especially insidious is its allure. Children see black berries shining in the sun and think they're candy. Adults, curious about its historical use in potions and cosmetics, might underestimate its power. It's a plant that blends danger with beauty, a perfect example of how nature can be simultaneously fascinating and deadly. And for anyone managing a small garden or balcony, it's a plant that demands respect. Admire from afar, educate yourself, and always treat it as a serious threat. 7. Foxglove. Foxglove is a plant that could easily grace the cover of a garden magazine. Tall spikes of vibrant purple flowers, bells dangling delicately, a real showstopper in any garden. But beneath that beauty lies a potent warning. All parts of the plant are toxic, containing digitalis glycosides that can interfere with the heart. Just a nibble of its leaves or seeds can trigger nausea, dizziness, irregular heartbeats, and in extreme cases, heart failure. Foxglove is a masterclass in deception. It teaches us that danger can be stunning, the kind that draws attention and admiration, lulling you into trust before revealing its hidden power. For gardeners, foxglove can still have a place, admired from a distance, never ingested, and always respected for its lethal elegance. 8. Lily of the valley. Delicate, tiny white bells. Sweet fragrance. A plant that looks like it belongs in a fairy tale. That's lily of the valley, charming, innocent, and deadly. Every part of this plant contains cardiac glycosides, chemicals that affect heart function. Even small exposures can cause vomiting, irregular heartbeat, and severe dizziness. What's frightening is how normal it feels in the garden. The plant doesn't shout danger. It whispers it in the form of innocent-looking flowers. For families with pets or children, lily of the valley is a reminder. Sometimes the prettiest plants are the ones you need to watch the closest. 9. Hemlock. If you thought oleander was dramatic, hemlock takes it to another level. History remembers it all too well. Tall, striking stems, delicate white flowers, and an ordinary appearance make it blend perfectly into riverbanks and fields. Yet every part of hemlock contains conein, a neurotoxin so potent it can paralyze the body within hours. This is the very plant that ended Socrates' life, a chilling reminder that nature can be both ordinary and deadly. For gardeners and explorers, recognizing hemlock is key. That tall, umbrella-like flower cluster may look harmless, but its history is a stark warning. Some dangers are as old as civilization itself. 10. Nightshade tomato/tomatillo, wild varieties. Finally, some plants sneak in under the guise of familiarity. Certain wild nightshades, often mistaken for edible tomatoes or tomatillos, carry deadly alkaloids. The berries may look small, shiny, and tempting, even red, like the fruit you'd expect to eat. The problem? That look-alike fruit is poisonous. Ingesting it can cause nausea, paralysis, or worse. It's a perfect lesson in careful observation. What appears ordinary, familiar, or harmless can sometimes harbor real danger. For container gardeners or anyone dabbling in wild foraging, wild nightshades are a reminder. Always double-check your plants. Familiarity doesn't equal safety. And there you have it, 10 plants that are stunning, intriguing, and downright dangerous if you're not careful. From the silent menace of water hemlock to the deceptively delicate lily of the valley, nature has a way of showing us that beauty can be as lethal as it is mesmerizing. Remember this. Just because something looks harmless doesn't mean it is. Every leaf, berry, or blossom could carry a hidden threat or a lesson in respect for the natural world. If today's guide opened your eyes or made you look twice at what's growing around you, smash that like button, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to Daily Plant Life. Turn on the notification bell too. We bring you tips, insights, and must-know plant knowledge every day, so your garden stays as safe as it is beautiful. Stay alert, stay curious, and most importantly, let knowledge be your shield. Nature is magnificent, but caution is your superpower. See you in the next one.